Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Crypto Bobby. Hope you are having a great day, great night, wherever you are watching in from. Hopefully your portfolio, whatever you have in it, is crushing it. There is a lot of crypto out there that is absolutely smoking hot. You can see on the chart right now, Cardano is one of those that is just absolutely crushing it and kind of blowing my mind. And I'm a little bit worried that it might be overextended, but who knows? Who knows? Cardano is crushing it. Stellar Lumens is crushing it. There have been just numerous crypto assets out there that are right now absolutely moving. You got NEM joining the general platform play party, making moves. Ripple continuing. Ripple has just not stopped. It's been unbelievable. Ripple has not stopped. Stellar Lumens hasn't stopped. Cardano hasn't stopped. Tron hasn't stopped. It's been absolutely nuts. Just nuts across the board. These markets ain't rational. I don't know what's going on. But it is altcoin, at least for now, it is altcoin season. And it's been one heck of a time. That is for sure. Hope you guys are having a great night. I got a little glass of Macallan 12. I might have to upgrade to like Macallan 15 or 18 if Cardano keeps moving. I'm just kidding, but seriously, this is crazy. It's nuts. I don't know what to say. So let's get into, I'll start taking a look at some of these questions here. And guys, if you do have any questions, as always, I try to answer as many of them as I possibly can. But if there's anything you must have answered, throw it in the super chat and I will definitely get to that. And we will kind of get it rolling. But just, off the top, like I said, it has been one heck of a day, especially from a platform play. I've talked about that for quite a bit of time, where I've said, hey, the platform plays are super appealing. Stellar Lumens crushing it, Cardano crushing it, NEM crushing it. EOS and NEO are both up 10%, 15% or so against Bitcoin. So that is, it's definitely pretty crazy. So somebody said, should I buy more Cardano now or wait for the fall? Me personally, I am not buying more Cardano right now. I'll say that, number one. My bags are pretty packed, and I'm kind of overextended with Cardano. And, could it continue pumping? Yeah, absolutely. But I don't, we're talking about a crypto that is up from when I got into it. I think it was like November 17th. We're talking about a crypto that's up 2,500%. So buying in more now, I was looking to buy in at 50, 75 cents. I might be looking to rebalance a little bit. I'm getting a little bit nervous that I might be overextended personally. I don't necessarily know if I would recommend. I like Cardano a lot, but I don't know if I would recommend going into it right now. Somebody said, how can you be overextended? Well, when you get 2,500% gains and then Cardano is 50% of your portfolio, then that is definitely part of it. Somebody said sell some of your effing Cardano, man. Looking to potentially potentially rebalance some things so that I'm maybe a little bit less exposed in case it does go down quite a bit. Taking a look at some of these questions here. So somebody said, thoughts on Request Network. We talked about this the other night. I like Request Network. It's had a really nice run. As of late, it was one of those ICOs that cooled off quite a bit, and it's pulled basically a 10x since October. So long-term play, I don't know if the pump is over for it or not. We'll have to see kind of how it ends up paying out long-term, but I like Request Network. I don't know if I necessarily like the price that it's at right now, because you're buying in after it's already gone up 10 plus. It's already pulled a 10x, so I don't know if I necessarily love that aspect of it, but long term, I think it's a pretty interesting asset for sure. So looking at some of these questions, yeah, Ethereum is another one. While the percentage gains aren't as high too, Ethereum is another one. While the percentage gains are, you're not seeing the Ripple, Stellar, Cardano numbers. We got Ethereum in some cases looking like it might hit a grand. And it's only 6-7% off of $1,000. So That's nuts. I mean, I remember there were points in time where I was talking and Ripple was below $200 and crashed and went all the way down to that like 130 range, and people are freaking out and the world was over, and it's basically pulled a 9-10x since then. So it's incredible to think about long term. Cody Tappan, what is up, dude? Yeah, it's a decent whiskey. I enjoy it for sure. It's altcoin heaven out there, man. Also, shout out to the Johnny Trex. Yeah, man. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, dude. And Trex has been killing it too. So, Stephen Reyes, ADA has Cardano has been great. The tech seems legit, but do you agree they are not much more than a white paper at this point in time? Concerned that it is way overhyped? Question mark. So I think that I think that in a lot of respect, I didn't expect it to pump this hard this fast. I mean, I think you'd be pretty nuts if when I bought in at 3 cents, that it would be like, oh yeah, it's definitely going to go up to $1.20 or whatever it's at right now. Like, there was no way. I don't think many people could have anticipated that at all. I was looking for a decent sized move, not basically a 20x. Like, that's been incredible. So I think that it is. I think that it is in some respects. It could be. I don't know if I want to say overhyped. I think that overall the marketplace in general isn't necessarily super rational, and when something's not rational, it's tough to value these crypto assets. And the fact that it is like it's not necessarily just a white paper, but the fact that it's kind of like pre all this other work, that it's making it maybe more difficult to properly value, although people can certainly point to that. So somebody said bread taking off. Yeah, I got into bread fairly recently. Fan of bread. Happy about that one for sure. So, and somebody else said Bitcoin starting to pump. So as I'm getting in these super chats, we'll pull up the old Bitcoin chart. Take a look at the 15-minute here. Yeah, ooh, hey-oh. Bitcoin is pumping up to 15.4 or so. I'm curious to see what that just means to the overall portfolio as a whole. And then I'll get to these super chats. So I'm not forgetting you guys. Yeah, it looks like, who knows if Blockfolio is always late. I need to move. I don't know if any of you guys use Delta. I've heard that's a pretty legit app. So happy to. I might check that bad boy out. But thoughts on NAV 28 or as a privacy coin 2018? I think that any privacy coins have the potential to pump. That's absolutely a potential. NAV coin does have a potential, and it's at a fairly attractive. NAV is fairly attractive from a market capitalization perspective. It's around 200 mil in market cap, but as of the time being, I'm in Zcash. I've kind of thought about Monero a little bit. I'm maybe a little bit less interested in Verge because it's already kind of popped. But NAV is one that might be worth a look. Somebody said, a couple different people say Delta. Delta is great. Yeah, I might have to check out Delta for sure. So Daniel Martino, what's up, dude? Think it's a weird coincidence that all the crazy pumping coins, XLM, Cardano, XRP, Steam, all have super high circulating coins in the multi-billions. Do I think that's a coincidence? Not necessarily. I mean, potentially it's a coincidence, and there's the potential. It's a very simple thesis, but that people that are brand new to the crypto space, that are like total newbies, just look at the price and don't necessarily look at the total market capitalization or the available supply or the supply issued of a crypto asset and just say, oh, wow, Cardano's $1.26, or, Cardano was 75 cents, or Ripple was $1.75, 25 cents, now it's $3. Just looking simply at the price and not necessarily at the overall supply or any of the other things out there. I think that's a pretty simple thesis that may or may not be true, but it is somewhat of a interesting coincidence that at least today basically the top 5 pumping cryptos are all under $5 in price. That's pretty interesting coincidence. I think that's probably a pretty good point, Daniel. So I'm going through some of these super chats here. Galveston, Kayak Outfitters, what is up? Happy B-Day Bitcoin. Yeah, Genesis block of Bitcoin. I think happy 9-year anniversary. No, it's not talking to not talking to your significant other. It's a birthday. So I don't know if anybody else bought a birthday present for Bitcoin or bought themselves a present for Bitcoin, but there we go. Somebody said, does the Super Chat take Bitcoin? I don't believe so, but if anybody can develop some type of app that would allow me to take crypto via Super Chat, I would definitely deploy that one for sure. Which is also why I'm kind of excited about props when that hits, when that comes out. Somebody said, I feel like I'm going to open a bottle of Pappy 20 to celebrate, then regret it tomorrow when it adjusts. Adam, hey, you can never go wrong with a little bit of Pappy. So, Crusader General, what is up, dude? Good to see you again, as always. Thoughts on Soma SCT? Assuming this one is fairly brand new. Pretty minimal supply. It's only on EtherDelta right now, so I didn't have a chance to look at this ICO, Decentralized Social Marketplace. I can see, too. These guys might have reached out to me. Let me see. It's on the other screen real quick. Give me 1 second here to see what the deal is. Roadmap team. I haven't done too much diligence on these guys, so for me to give you anything particular about them, that would be that'd be tough. I can do a little bit more research for the next crypto happy hour and see if see if I can provide something that'll be a little bit more research there. But it looks like they just hit EtherDelta within the past week or so. Pretty low volume, although EtherDelta is typically low volume, and EtherDelta got hacked, so I think a lot of people are pretty hesitant to utilize EtherDelta. So Acapulco Ron, what is up, my man? Hope all is well. Looks like, yeah, TRX is going crazy, so we'll pop that open. Yeah, Binance. Yeah, basically, is this all-time highs, essentially? Well, yep, wow. Tron is, this is like the entire market. I mean, it's been pretty tough to, 5,000% in 31 days. That is psychotic. And if you got 2% of gains from that, good on you. I have a tiny bit of Tron. Like I have a very small altcoin bag. I have a very small like altcoin bag of some random like crypto on Binance, and Tron I had a tiny bit in there, and then it's gone up significantly. So luckily that's been enjoyable. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But Tron has been murdering it, which is crazy. So I'm looking at some of these questions, just trying to make sure that there's no trolling or any crap in there. All right. Don't post the same thing over and over and over again, please. Anybody, if you want something answered or whatever, I'll try to get to it. Or if you want somebody else, but don't throw the same crap in over and over and over again. So going back to these super chats here, looking at a couple of them. So Oscar Garza, what is up, dude? XRP about to crack $3 on Binance. So if that's probably USDT, it looks like it's already cracked. Just in overall and general standpoint, it's cracked $3, well above that on most of the other exchanges. So on BitHum, at least, wow, on BitHum it's over $4 right now. It's about $3 on Bitfinex. It's $3.01 on Binance right now. So it looks like it already passed. I guess the overall average there is $3.57, but for the most part, it's basically trading right at $3. I mean, that's incredible. That's nuts. Any thoughts on the gonna pour my emergency 20-year-old McAllen when it does? Yeah. So I think Oscar, you had that super chat 6 minutes ago. I'm not sure what happened there, but you might have already poured that. You might have already poured that that McAllen. It is a crazy, crazy time in crypto. Let's see. It's just like everything's pumping. It's almost uncomfortable. It really is. Like, Oscar, that a boy. That a boy. Binary numbers. You only answer super chats. What kind of help is that to your viewers? I answer as many questions as I can, dude. I literally do. As far as I know, I'm one of the few people that actually answers questions and interacts with people. So I try and answer as many questions as I possibly can. So I'll try to get to them where I can. I can barely answer all the super chats. So I really do apologize if I don't get to your question, but I try to get to everything I possibly can, man. So, sorry. All right, dude. Awesome. So looking at some more of these questions. Thoughts on the Telegram announcement of their ICO? I didn't know if they had an ICO or Telegram announced they were ICOing, or if they just announced that they were going to like enable crypto, a crypto platform. So I don't think that they necessarily maybe announced an ICO in general, but just said they were kind of tokenizing their platform somehow. So I don't know exactly what that is, but if they do, I don't think that's probably the greatest news for something like Kin or maybe Status as well. Although I'm sure it's, there's going to be some differences there, but maybe in some cases that's bullish that Telegram is entering the crypto world. I think for overall crypto, it's definitely bullish. It's great to see them potentially tokenizing and entering, but for some of the direct competitors, I mean, Telegram is massive and they crush it. So thoughts on blockchain and social send? Pop back over. So I'll take a quick look at blockchain real quick. Don't have probably enough time for social send, but can definitely get into, there we go. Actually, I can get both. So blockchain, I'm not too familiar with yet. Hotel booking, vacation rental marketplace. I'm not sure exactly what the token is. Obviously, that's an fairly interesting use case. And then social send real quick. We'll look at that too. So this could potentially be interesting. The one thing I would say there, though, that like if Facebook or any of these other social platforms want to enable something like this, what would prevent them from pretty easily spinning up something on their own and not utilizing something like social send? I haven't gone through the entire information, but that's just kind of off the top, looking at it for like 5 seconds. Something that is, I think, fairly maybe a roadblock there. And then from this perspective, I don't know what the token economics are, why somebody would use their token, but 0% commissions sounds great. But do they actually have any hotels booking? Do they actually have any vacation rentals booking? Because people are going to want to go where they can actually book the best things. Like, you're not going to go from Airbnb to this if Airbnb has a bajillion houses and this has 2. So does Cardano have the potential to go up to $100,000 per coin? No. Look at the supply. Please, God, for the love of God, look at the supply. So B3 coin comeback story of 2018. We'll take a look at that real quick. It's 127. I mean, actually has decent volume right now. I guess it's spiking, but that's way too small. I mean, I could buy all of B3 coin if I wanted to. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. That's anti-instant. I don't know. No, it's too small for me. Proof of stake coin in the crypto world, that looks like, I mean, you're talking about $123,000 market capitalization. Like, you know how easily that could be manipulated? That is crazy. got in at 390 OMG. What's up, Acapulco Ron? Nice move, Scott. Well, so Crusader General, what is up again, dude? Like I said before, appreciate your time and your support with the super chats there too. Matrix, brand new. It's academic research and development. It looks like another gold mine to me. The other academic and research focused crypto that I know is Cardano. So I'll take a look. I'll add this bad boy to the list. I have quite a few in my queue to read the white paper on, to go over, and you guys have called out. I mean, it's happened before, and it will certainly, I'm sure, happen again. But you guys have called out some great great crypto previously that have really done well. So I'm excited to see what some of the other calls that you guys have might be. Taking a look at some of these chats here now. Basil Punts, what's up, dude? Need to check out XRY, but appreciate the sub and hope you're enjoying the content and enjoying the community as well. And I really do appreciate every single one of you guys that are watching this right now. I mean, no BS, regardless of what you think or anything like that. I really do appreciate every single one of you here. So going back to some of these questions. Stealth 9842, XRP getting on Coinbase or just rumor causing the spike? I think XRP, I think Ripple is a legit possibility to get on Coinbase, but I don't know if it is. I think that it's fairly difficult to say if it's getting on Coinbase or not. So it is something that I don't necessarily know. There's a lot of things driving the price right now. I think there's absolutely a lot of things driving the price right now. I don't know if Coinbase, I think that's part of the rumors for sure, but long term, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I don't worry about what's going to get added to Coinbase. If it does get added, it gets added, and it's probably going to spike. If it doesn't get added, if it's a legit crypto with good fundamentals, it doesn't need to be on Coinbase. It can be on Bittrex, it can be on Binance, it could be on Huobi, it could be on Bithumb, whatever. If it's going to pump, it's going to pump. It doesn't necessarily need to be on Coinbase. There's 4 cryptocurrencies that are on Coinbase right now. It's not like Coinbase is the end-all, be-all to pump. Ripple is not on Coinbase, and it's worth over $100 billion right now, which is just outrageous, but it is. So looking at some of these, any TA on ADA and its prediction, would love to get back in, but you're right, it's almost uncomfortable. So I need to talk to a few people that have a little bit more expertise in that area than I do from a TA perspective. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit, for me, it's a little bit at this point in time. Like, I don't want to say it's uncomfortable, but there hasn't been like an incredible amount of volume, which has been a little bit scary. So that's been something that I've been looking at, but I was hoping to buy in more. I was stacking Cardano at 41 cents, 39 cents, and then it just went through the roof after that. So I'm a little bit salty. I missed out on more of a buying opportunity, but I mean, at this point in time, it's just so, I don't want to say necessarily overextended, but it's gone pretty high up, pretty far. So I'd be interested in hearing what some different people have to say from a TA perspective. Although one article I did read, I forget who, I think it was Carpe Noctem on Twitter, put together an analysis. I think it was Carpe Noctem put together an analysis of Cardano, and he said the next leg up was $1.90. So that is something that we're kind of on that path. We're definitely on that path. Somebody said I hate forks, so I don't care about Bitcoin private. I don't necessarily hate forks. I just don't chase forks. So I'll say that. But I've heard good things about Z Classic. So I don't have any money in Z Classic, but a couple people that I really respect have put some money into Z Classic as Bitcoin private as that investment. So that is something that is I'm not holding anything specifically for that fork, but Z Classic is crushing it, or has crushed it, and might have a nice little bit of a run in the future as well. Forks can lead to chopsticks. Yes, they could. Do you have any piece of advice on investing small amounts into crypto 250 on a weekly basis? Should I stick to small projects or the main big coins? Thanks, Bobby. It depends on what you're looking for and what what type of returns you're looking for, as well as like volatility. Pretty much all of crypto is volatile, so whether you go large cap, whether you go small cap, I don't think that there's necessarily like there's no safe place in crypto from like a volatility perspective. Paul, that boy, man. So there's really no safe place in crypto from a volatility perspective, I don't think. But what you're seeing now, too, I think is proof that a lot of these larger crypto assets can run. Like, people are looking at stuff like Ripple previously. I mean, Ripple was at like a $10 billion valuation, and people thought that was expensive. I personally thought that was expensive. Cardano was at like $1 billion, $2 billion valuation from a market cap. People thought that was expensive. It's at $32 billion right now. So you don't necessarily have to go like all the way down to these like, sub $100 million coins to get crazy returns. Somebody said, how do you see governments reacting to a $1 trillion overall market capitalization? I don't necessarily know if governments are going to react like extremely kindly to that. I think we'll see more and more regulation as time goes. That the larger crypto gets, the more regulation you might see. On the other end of the spectrum, there are a lot of big products that are being opened up for retail for institutional investors, and I think that is positive. And as long as, in my mind, granted I'm in the U.S., but as long as like the U.S. doesn't come out and do anything crazy, I think we'll be okay. And I really just don't see them doing that for the time being. Like, could ICO investing, or could they come out and ban some level of ICOs or put in regulation for ICOs? Absolutely. Could they maybe make things more difficult from like a taxation perspective? Yeah, sure. But I'm not terrified of regulation right now. I think that is a massive risk for sure. But as far as like being terrified of regulation, I am not for the time being. Crusader General, what is up, dude? Super chat at Bread, and you bought shortly after. Good move. Yeah, your super chat on Bread, as well as I have a couple different friends that are really big on Bread. They got into the ICO. The Bread team actually reached out to me at the tail end of their ICO as well. So I've had a chance to talk to the Bread team before too, and didn't have a chance to go through the process of speaking with them, but did have a chance to kind of talk a little bit briefly with their CMO, their CRO. So I know that they are a pretty legit team, and I've had a little bit of a chance there to interact, and I'm excited to see how they can execute. They've done well since their ICO. I think recently ICO'd coins have done really well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Bread could turn out in the long run. But I got in post-ICO, so I wasn't one of the pre-ICO guys or anything like that. What are your thoughts on weed coins, dope, etc.? Any value, or will privacy coins like Verge, Monero cover that field? I'm not a massive fan of like this specific crypto that's like only for weed or whatever. I think privacy coins are maybe a more interesting play than, let's see here. Sorry, somebody's writing LTC 7,000 times, so we'll chop that on out. Please don't spam the chat. I hate you. Jesus. Cool. So, yeah. Looking at General Tony. Appreciate that super chat as well, man. But I think that long-term wise, privacy coins might be able to take to take some of that business. But when I'm thinking about weed coins, I don't necessarily love the exact use case yet, and I don't necessarily see a massive reason why they would use it at this point in time. I think on the surface level, it makes sense, but there's a lot of business development, and I think that's the same for a lot of these other tokens that are trying to get enterprise adoption outside of something like maybe like Ripple or Stellar that's actually getting enterprise adoption, or developing partnerships in Ethereum too, that those cryptos have developed partnerships with some big companies out there. But with that said, I think that some of these smaller coins that are trying to be working in the manufacturing space or the supply chain space or the weed industry, those are tougher, at least in my opinion. But as always, I could be completely and totally wrong. Thoughts on Dragon? I think the ICO, Dragon Chain, the ICO is actually uncapped, and a lot of people didn't like that. It does have some, I don't know the exact nature of the relationship with Disney, but there's like some slight relationship that they have with Disney, but pretty much after the ICO, it has 6x, which is very, very impressive. I'm not in on Dragon Chain personally. So not in on Dragon Chain personally, but the fact that they have any semblance of like a relationship, yeah, they were Disney incubated or Disney's Dragon Chain. There's some, I don't know the exact nature. I mean, it's not like literally owned by Disney, I believe, but there's like some relationship there with Disney, and that is enough to, that's literally like that type of thing when you're looking at crypto, that type of thing where it's like, oh, XYZ company is related to this crypto. That's the type of thing that will make a crypto pump. So it's like IBM did this or whatever, just got a partnership with so-and-so. Like that type of thing is what makes crypto pump. For the time being, it might not in the future, but now it is. It's definitely doing that. Somebody said Tron is literally blowing up right now. Let's see if... Oh. Wow. Hey-oh. That's crazy. Han Solo dies. Old Chief, what is up, man? Cheers from Colorado. Cheers from the East Coast. Selling off my Tron off a little at a time as it goes higher, but wishing I held on. Hold or try to buy and sell the dips. It's tough. It's tough both ways because depending upon where, you're never going to time it right. You're never going to time it right. And if you sell too early and it continues to go up, there's like no worse feeling in the world because you're like, I had it and I had it so low and now it's going up and it's going up. And then you inevitably either have self-discipline and wait for it to dip back because it'll probably dip back at some point in time, or you buy back in and you decrease your stack and then you don't have as much of whatever you had previously. So if it's Tron or if it's Cardano or if it's Ripple or whatever, I'm sure that's happened to a lot of people where they said, hey, it's crushing it right now. I want to sell a little bit and take some profit. And then it goes up and you're like, ah, crap, I did that too early. I'll wait for the dip. I'll wait for the dip. It keeps going up. It keeps going up. And as it goes up and as it goes up, then you are, as it goes up, it gets literally more and more tempting to buy in, but you get less and less of that crypto that you would have had already. So that is something. But then somebody else said, never sell means never make money. And that's true. Don't let anybody tell you that taking profit is a bad thing. I don't give a crap if it's $1 profit, if it's $1 million in profit. Profit's profit. And you just need the self-discipline that if you want to take profit, hold on to it and have a plan. So, I can't tell you what the best way to take profit is for you. You kind of need to determine that yourself. But once you determine what that is, then stick to that, regardless of if the price goes up or down. Somebody said, your opinion on UTrust, will it really challenge PayPal? So I've heard a couple of different people mention UTrust to me. As far as it challenging PayPal, who knows? Everybody's supposed to have challenged PayPal at this point in time. Bitcoin was supposed to be PayPal. Will this be PayPal? Who knows? From a team perspective, I think recent ICO, but I'll have to do a little bit more research on these guys. When I talked previously about, or I asked on Twitter what some of you guys were thinking from the perspective of like a decent size, sub $150 million, kind of smallish mid-cap crypto to take a look at. This was one of the ones you guys had mentioned, so I need to do some more due diligence on UTrust to see what is up. Pablo, appreciate the super chat. Looks like a couple different times, so I wanted to just make sure that you didn't ask any questions. Unfortunately, if see. You're an idiot for selling Tron. Nobody's an idiot. Okay, cool. So I'm going to get back to it. So I appreciate the super chats there, Pablo. What do you think about Ryblox? Could it become the daily currency? It's also about to be listed on Binance. So Ryblox pumped hard. Shout out to Kyle and a couple other people. But I don't think Ryblox is even on Coinigy. No, it's not. But Ryblox is pumped hard. You guys were asking about Ryblox. We were talking a little bit about Ryblox back when it was at like $1.50. Kyle Babcock. I think he had mentioned another crypto out there, another ICO that might have some relation to Ryblox, so we need to do some due diligence on that one. But Ryblox is cooling off a little bit after it spiked up all the way to like $35 or so, now down to 23, 24 bucks. As far as it being a good investment, daily currency, I don't know. We'll have to see how it ends up panning out long term. And the fact that it's about to be listed on Binance, I think that might be priced into the market in some respects. So that's something that I think you want to, I wouldn't necessarily just buy Ryblox right now because it is going to be added to Binance. A lot of people already bought it because the Binance thing was already happening. So looking at some of these questions here as well. Thank you, John Tagler. Appreciate that, man. Somebody said Bitcoin is a scam in all caps. Cool. 0x is actually functional. Yeah, 0x, I like 0x. I've built up a heavy bag in 0x, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that bad boy as well. So looking at, what do we got here? Thoughts on Chartist from Embercoin? I haven't taken a look at it, to be pretty frank with you. I haven't gotten a chance to see Embercoin at all. I don't know how. Just stake it. A lot of people are trying to chase these proof of stake crypto coins, smaller proof of stake crypto coins or larger ones in anticipation of them doing well. I have no idea about this one, but that makes me a little bit nervous there. So I personally don't have the gumption, the stones to do anything with anything like Chartist or Embercoin. So that's just me at this point in time. Old school gamer Rick, what is up, dude? So at this point, I still haven't gotten a chance to go fully through the Dent. I still haven't gotten a chance to fully go through the Dent mobile app and kind of the roadmap at this point in time. Obviously, with the size of it, that's probably a smart thing to do for me and to take a look at it. But yeah, I haven't gone through that. I haven't gotten a chance to go through the Dent mobile app. I was looking at today. I was looking at. I did some research on AirSwap, did some research on Wabi, did some, let me see what else I was looking at. So I had a chance to go through a couple different white papers today and some just some different high-level information there. But I was looking at doing some more due diligence on Chainlink, Wabi, AirSwap, Bread, and then ELF as well, which was mentioned to me by my buddy that actually mentioned Cardano. So ELF on Binance, ELF. Is another one that that he had mentioned. So I did some more due diligence on that bad boy to see if it might be legit too. So those were the ones that I was looking at today. But I will definitely add Dent to my kind of list of assets to take a look at for sure. And guys, if you are new to the channel by any chance, so I do daily videos on YouTube, and then from there, yeah, you don't have to throw it in all caps. We can see. My eyes work. I am colorblind, but I could see. My eyes work. But getting back to it, if you guys are new to the channel, then loud noises, I love lamp. But if you are new to the channel by any chance, hit the subscribe button, the notify bell. I would really appreciate that. I do daily videos on crypto, and then I also do, as much as possible, I do these YouTube live crypto happy hours where I might hop in, I might drink water or apple juice, I might drink a glass of warm milk. No, I'm kidding, that's disgusting. Or preferably whiskey. So getting back to some of these super chats. And again, thank you very much, Old School Rick and Crusader General. What is up, dude? Appreciate you very much today. Thank you so much for all your super chats and support. How do you think the U.S. government will enforce taxation if you don't cash out through Coinbase? So I know that at least for the time being, let's see here. What is it? IRS coin tracking. So here we go. So the IRS has purchased a software, and it has a partnership with a company called Chain Analysis. So that basically analyzes the blockchain to see whether or not you are pretty much skipping out on your taxes and try to identify people that are potentially skipping out on taxes. So I think that is something that is really you want to be aware of. So this is on Bitcoin.com, but yeah, so basically the IRS and other companies are using Chain Analysis and potentially some other companies out there that are analyzing the blockchain because that is publicly available information to see if people are skipping out on taxes. So that is one thing that you want to keep in mind when you are looking at some of these assets or when you're looking at how government will enforce taxation. Bitcoin ain't that private. It's not. And, if you claim anything through Coinbase, I would imagine, and I'm claiming short, long-term capital gains through Coinbase, I would imagine that's going to put a target on your head because pretty simply, and you may know, you may not know, but the IRS sued Coinbase this was between 2013 and 2015, but the IRS sued Coinbase to get access to their customer information. So get out of here, Lowe's. So the IRS sued Coinbase. Jesus, Fortune. Can we not have 7,000 advertisements and pop-ups? You guys monetize this stuff enough? But the IRS sued Coinbase and got access to 14,000 people that had 9 million transactions between 2013 and 2015. And this was only for people that had transactions of sending and receiving worth more than $20,000. At this point in time, though, in the future, this was for information between 2013 and 2015. The IRS knows that basically $700 billion of wealth has been created pretty much overnight over the past year. They're going to want to cut of that. They're going to come for it. And if you claim a cent, at least in my mind, this is just my stupid head, but if you claim $1 of income from, Coinbase, there's gonna be like a little bit of a check mark in the IRS headquarters, and it's like, hey, Bobby just claimed some money from Coinbase. Let's look at this thing with a big old microscope, and we'll go from there. So something to keep in mind. Thoughts on Doge for 2018? Such moon, much moon. I forgot the Dogecoin language, but if you're not aware, Dogecoin's what got me into crypto. So I'm a big Dogecoin fan. It's pumped. I personally wouldn't put my money into it though. Mike, appreciate that super chat. Thank you very much, dude. What is your take on Dent? Like I said before, I don't know if you just missed that, Felclaw. Sorry if you did, but I need to do a little bit more research on Dent to get a solid feel for these guys. Obviously, it's been a really impressive run over the month of December, but I need to kind of get a better feel for what they're really doing and what that run is a result of, and if there is anything there that really is driving that is worth my time, or long-term fundamentals there. So I need to add that to that's towards the top of my list as far as understanding from just reading through white paper and getting a good feel for things. Acapulco Ron, I gave a little over 1.3 Bitcoin to my employees for Christmas, feeling like I want to be a whale. I got in on 88 early thanks to you. Appreciate it, man. Acapulco Ron, you treat your employees well. I hope they're Bitcoin moons because that'll keep your employees around for quite some time. But yeah, that's definitely good on you, man. Awesome on you. What do you think about experience points? XP's popped. XP has definitely popped up quite a bit. Do I think it's worth $500 million? It'd be tough for me to justify it being worth $500 million. It's already been worth. I mean, it was worth. One point in time, it went up to like a fifth of a cent, dropped all the way down to a tenth of a cent, and then came back up. So as far as justification, the one thing I'll say is, I mean, a lot of these cryptos out there, it's just the market isn't rational right now. I can say whatever I want, and I could say, hey, this is a great cryptocurrency, and this is the best thing on the planet, and this has the best fundamentals, and it might sit still for 3 months, while Dogecoin, that hasn't had a GitHub commit in like 2 years and has no developers working on it and nothing, and hasn't had an update in a year and a half, 2 years, and the founders aren't there and whatever, and that's pumping. So markets ain't rational. Dogecoin is over $1 billion in market capitalization. That's all you need to know. I love Doge, but it shouldn't be over $1 billion in market cap, and anything and everything could pump. It's just a matter of when. For sure. Oh, I did not know crypto is rational. I don't appreciate the sarcasm. Victor. I'm kidding. Good to see you, Victor. So what do we got? Donnie, what's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat. Is LTC death? How high will Cardano go? When will you sell? Is LTC death? I wouldn't say LTC is death. I think Litecoin pumped pretty hard, and I'm sure there's, unfortunately, a lot of probably bag holders in the $300-$400 range. Litecoin has definitely cooled off a little bit. I personally I'm not a big Litecoin investor as of right now. At least I doubled my Litecoin buying it $100, selling it like $260. I sold early though. I could have ridden that up to $400, but again, it's always tough to call the top. It's basically impossible. So I bought Litecoin at like 100, sold it at like 260, made that move, was really happy with it, and then went kind of had Litecoin go up, watched it go up, and then kind of sell off since then. It has, whether or not you want to say it, and I don't think this was meant to be the long-term effect, but like the whole Charlie selling all his Litecoin thing, I think that kind of backfired on him personally. And I think he had good intentions, but he basically called the top. And I think there are a lot of people that liked Litecoin and saw that happen and either sold or didn't love that. So ADA volume dropping, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Somebody said real quick, what is the easiest way to transfer your Bitcoin and avoid big transfer fees? Personally, I actually use Litecoin now to transfer between exchanges. I will, if I buy Bitcoin, I'll transfer it to Litecoin on CoinBase or GDAX. Or if I have Bitcoin, I will take Bitcoin, I will switch it to Litecoin, I will take my Litecoin, I will send it to Binance or to Bittrex, I will send it there, I will send it to my Litecoin wallet, and then I will either trade Litecoin for Ethereum or for Bitcoin, because there's obviously not really Litecoin trading pairings, but there's Bitcoin, Ethereum trading pairings. Really no tax implication of that because there's not probably a capital gains tax or anything like that. So, I'm not making any gains, so there's no tax implication of that. And the fees of transferring Litecoin are significantly lower than transferring anything on Bitcoin, and it's faster. So if I want to move Bitcoin, unfortunately, it's kind of how you have to do it at this point in time. You could do it with Ethereum as well. So I would do that either with Ethereum or with Litecoin. And not to be a proponent of it too, but if you're really, and if you're a big fan of it, and maybe are, maybe aren't, but Bitcoin Cash, you could do the same thing with Bitcoin Cash. Now, the fees on Bitcoin Cash are basically around Litecoin's fees, if not, at some point a little bit lower. So, yeah. So Robert said, sorry, that is a taxable event in the IRS's eyes. Yes, it is, but if you're not making any gain, then it's not, if there isn't a gain there, if you're switching, it is a like asset, or it's a like cryptocurrency, at least to my knowledge. But if I buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and I put $1,000 US into Bitcoin, and then I switch that Bitcoin over to Litecoin right away, and I get $1,000 worth of Litecoin, there is no gain there. So there's really nothing at that point in time, at least in my understanding, that there's nothing there to really be taxed, unless I'm an idiot, and I could certainly be an idiot. So going back to some of these super chats, I'm a little bit low or a little bit behind on them. Matthew, what is up, man? Thank you for the kind words. Do you think Bitstamp in London and Binance in Hong Kong will be as open with the IRS as Coinbase is now? Probably not. I don't know if Binance doesn't even have KYC requirements, at least in the US now. I don't know what Bitstamp's requirements are at this point in time from a KYC perspective, but obviously Coinbase, Gemini, all those guys are getting really intense from a KYC, know your customer, know your client perspective. When you have to throw your license on, you have to throw your passport on, whatever. That is all covering their butts in case the IRS comes after them, or in case the SEC or anything comes after them. So when you are super frustrated with how long it's taking you to get verified on an exchange or whatever, then yeah, that's it. So a couple just on the tax perspective too, when you're transferring Bitcoin to Litecoin too, I think there have been a couple different comments, yeah, but they are crypto to crypto is taxable. So that is one of the big updates from like the Trump tax plan that people are freaking out about, that you couldn't consider crypto a like-kind exchange at this point in time. But yeah, my understanding is Bitcoin to Litecoin is taxable, but if there's no gain specifically in what I'm doing is I would buy Bitcoin and I would transfer that to Litecoin or something else. And then if there's no gain there, or if you make $1 or $2 or whatever, then you're fine. So looking at some of these questions here, and somebody, Gabriel, what's up, dude? Can you explain how to transfer BCH into Bitcoin with Coinbase? So basically, if you want to, what I was just saying there is really transferring to any other exchange. So there are basically right now, at least everything on Coinbase. If you want to buy something on Coin, if you want to get money, if you want to get like US dollars from Coinbase or from Gemini. If it's Gemini, you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum. But if it's Coinbase, you have Bitcoin, you have Litecoin, you have Bitcoin Cash, and you have Ethereum. Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin are all cheaper to move to something like Bittrex or Binance now. So basically what you do is you just take your US dollars, you buy, ideally you do it in GDAX because there's less fees, but if you can't wait, you can do it in Coinigy, or in Coinbase as well. But when you go to send that, you send it with, and I'll probably make a video because I'm sure there's a lot of like beginners out there that could use a little bit of help with this. But basically, just buy that crypto and then, or buy either Litecoin. I was looking at it. If you send $50 worth of Litecoin, I think it's like 25 cents in transaction fees, if that. If you sent it in Bitcoin Cash, I think it was like a $0 transaction fee. If you sent it in Ethereum, it was like a 30-cent transaction fee. If you sent it in Bitcoin to an exchange, it was a $10, $15 transaction fee. So that's why you would use any of those other ones other than Bitcoin for the time being, just because it's not worth it, especially if you're trying to not pay massive fees. Donnie, what is up, dude? Appreciate that super chat. Thank you very much, Phil, as well. What do you think of Fun and Trex? So I'm just looking to see if I missed anything from Donnie. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Donnie, what is up? Sorry, I missed that super chat there. How do you store cold store coins off Bittrex if they cannot be stored on Nano S, such as Redcoin, Verge, Lumen, Cardano? All wallets have gone offline on Bittrex just now. I'm sure there's a ton of volume right now on Bittrex and Binance. I know Binance went down today at one point in time, a little bit earlier when I was at Whole Foods getting myself some dinner because I'm a little hipster. But shout out Whole Foods if you want to, / Amazon. If you want to sponsor the podcast, I'm all up for it. But as far as storing those, most of my crypto assets are available to be stored on Ledger. Really, the only one that's not right now is Cardano, and Cardano apparently is going to open up support for Ledger in the near future. And I think that's big news. That's great news. But if for Cardano, if you use the dataless wallet, for the other ones, if you store it on your computer, if you use something else, you could utilize that. But that makes me nervous too if you're storing it on a laptop, if your laptop has a virus on it, if you get a keystroke, or if you get anything like that. So for the most part, if I have something that is like that, sometimes I'm more comfortable storing it on an exchange if it's not available on a Ledger Nano S. If I have like crazy password, two-factor authentication, all that stuff, I feel like in a lot of cases that might be safer than storing it on your laptop. But that's just me personally. So Erica said, what's the fastest way to make funds available? Currently deposit USD on Binance, but it takes a week, or if its price are low. So I think the one thing you want to do is just have a plan in place beforehand, because a lot of things are not quick to get your US dollar or your euro or whatever into crypto. So try to plan that ahead of time, because typically, some of the best exchanges out there are going to take 5 to 10 days, probably in that range. So just try and as soon as you have US dollar you want to get it in, start that process of loading it on, and then just have it in the background so that you have money ready to go when you need it. If you want to buy, if there's a dip or you just want to buy. But that's the biggest thing, is planning ahead of time. It sucks for the first little bit of time because you feel like you're playing catch up, but after you get to a certain point, whether it's like the second or third time you're doing it, just get to a rhythm and say okay, I'm going to take part of my paycheck or whatever I want to do, or some of the money that I have, and I want to throw it into GDAX or into Binance or to whatever. But I'm just going to do that a little bit prior to. I'm going to do that a week ahead of time, because I know that that's the best way for me to do it. So looking at some more of these. So looking at some more of these questions here as well. And then so Yadmer, sorry, I kind of went off tangent there. What do you think about Fun and Trex, or Tron, excuse me? So Funfair's had a nice run, real nice run for sure. Cooled off a little bit, as did a lot of crypto in the mid-October timeframe. Pumping incredibly hard recently. It's gaming on the blockchain. I think the online casino industry it's very interesting. It's an interesting use case, and depending upon how they could execute on it, it is pretty interesting. Like everything in crypto, do I think it's maybe worth the valuation? Probably not, but there's a good enough value proposition there to justify that for the time being. I think it's kind of the biggest one out there from an online casino perspective. And when you think about transparency in the blockchain, that's interesting, because if you have whatever the results of games or the gaming and all that type of stuff on the blockchain, and somebody can see hey, am I getting ripped off right now, or is this how it's supposed to be? That's a really pretty. I think that's a unique way to go about things. So for sure. So Mark, new goat out there, thoughts on Devore coin? If I'm not nuts, I think this is This is a BitConnect wannabe, and a lot of you guys know my thoughts on those bad boys. Yeah, now Divorce 20, I don't know. This is, to my understanding, this is like a BitConnect lending platform. Yeah, I'm not about these. I'm not. If you guys want to put your money into it, put your money into it. Know that it could blow up. All these, HYIP or whatever these things are, and with all these dudes out there that are pitching these things as the greatest thing since sliced bread and all that crap. If you want to put your money into it, you can do that. Great. But I don't. I won't. And I don't think it's worth your time. In a lot of respects, then, I don't know. It's just not. I don't want to piss off a bunch of people, but I don't play around with anything that is a quote-unquote lending program as a trading bot, all that crap. It's not my cup of tea. But you can make, for the most part, you can make money on it. It's just a matter of how long it lasts and where it goes and how many Bitcoin you can earn. Because I didn't buy these Bitcoin, I earned these Bitcoin. This is my Bitcoin wallet. Hi. Whoops. Cheers, I earned these Bitcoin, baby. Whoops. That was the McAllen talking. No, that was just me talking. So how do you track what your crypto is worth in USD? I use Blockfolio. I don't enter like my trade. I don't enter the individual trades. I just personally use Blockfolio right now to enter in like my overall portfolio and then see where it goes up, where it goes down. And then I use Bitcoin.tax to track my profit and loss and all, track my profit loss, all that good stuff. So that's, I've been using Bitcoin.tax to track all the tax and profit and loss, P&L statements, all that good stuff. But on the other end of the spectrum, just Blockfolio for simple information. So Smiley, appreciate the super chat. What is up, dude? Don't know too much about BitDegree personally. Utrust, we talked a little bit. Talked a little bit about Utrust previously. That is one that's kind of on my list to check out. There were a few different people that recommended Utrust as a solid smallish mid-cap cryptocurrency right now that may or may not be able to compete with PayPal and is trying to kind of be that level. Recent ICO, decent press, obviously. Forbes, Yahoo, HuffPost, they know how to market themselves, that's for sure. So that is one thing that I am looking to check out. Certainly on the list. They have a beautiful website too. I mean, there's some ICOs with some crappy websites, but they have a pretty solid website. Granted, that means absolutely nothing in the long run, but in some cases it kind of does. So, Gabriel, I have Bitcoin Cash on Binance, but I can't buy alt or Bitcoin. So basically, I mean, I think we're going back to the initial kind of thing about getting Bitcoin Cash to, or like trading money, getting money from CoinBase or wherever to a Binance or to a Bittrex. Pretty much all you have to, what you would do there is, in that respect, you would just have your Bitcoin Cash. You would send it to your Bitcoin Cash wallet, and then you would trade that to Bitcoin or to Ethereum because that has all the trading pairs. There's not a lot that have, there really aren't any Bitcoin Cash trading pairs. So take a look at if anything's moving significantly. Pretty crazy on NEM too, that I think it's added like $6 billion in market cap. Yesterday, I think this was like right around 10 bill. And that's pumping hard. One thing, and who knows if it will, but we were talking about this yesterday, and I continue to think this is legit. The general platform plays are pumping to no end. And there is pretty much one general platform, or there's kind of two general platforms, like Ethereum killers, Ethereum competitors, whatever, that haven't pumped as hard, and that's Lisk and Waves for the most part. Waves might be. I've kind of looked into Waves and I've been like, you know what, is Waves something that might be worth dipping the toes into? Maybe that'll pump. Maybe it won't. But Waves, I'm looking at that now as like one of the ones that is somewhat like depressed. But please don't ask the same question 7,000 times. I will block you. I will block you. VeChain frozen on Binance for everybody. I mean, it might be. There's a lot of stuff frozen on Binance, I believe. Tron just broke Binance. Waves is great. So somebody said, or a couple different ones, thoughts on PHR. What's up, Quan? Hope you are having a great day. Why did I just type in? My head's all over the place. I just typed in Quan to the currency. Apparently there is no Quan coin. I'm sorry, Quan. And I may or may not be butchering the pronunciation of your name, so apologies on that for. So I don't know too much about these guys, but this is every buzzword on the planet, right? That's hot right now. You have security, you have privacy, you have proof of stake, and then you have 3.0 and masternodes. Proof of stake masternodes, a privacy proof of stake masternodes coin that is quote unquote 3.0. That's I don't know too much about the team or kind of anything there, but those are all the buzzwords that are hitting home. I don't love seeing the team, though, and I don't love seeing not one picture. So, yeah. Hey, guys. Hi, Froshi. Hi, Julian Meyer. How about you put your picture on there? If you want me to put money into you, how about you put your picture on the website, boys? So, yeah, that's an interesting one. Curious to see what's up with good old Bitcoin right now. Let's see. How's that doing? 15, just under 1530. Cardano just continuing to do whatever. Script kitty privacy. It's somebody said they're playing the Crypto Bobby drinking game. I don't know what that is right now. It was Manitha. If you guys have been Crypto Bobby, Crypto Happy Hour OGs, then you're on that game. But I don't know if there's a new game out there. So somebody said, thoughts? Just want to throw this out there. New coin that needs to come out. Door, HODL, or the Door. I don't know. Is there a HODL coin yet, Mike? Let's take a look. Some God damn it, I hate crypto. I love crypto, but I hate it. There is a HODL coin, and it does have a $1.7 million market cap. So, Mike, you are late to the game, brother. Somebody said XP coin. We talked a little bit about it previously. Alex, it's pumped real hard recently. So, but I'm always hesitant. I'm one of those dudes that's always hesitant to buy in on a late in the pump and get burned, and then I tend to miss out on opportunities. So, may or may not be a great move. I'm not too sure. So, J Ribs, what is up, dude? Is NEO still a good long-term investment? I think NEO is interesting for sure. It's pretty, when you talk about the market cap, just that standpoint, 6.5 bill, it's minuscule in compared to Cardano. And it's crazy because if you look back a few months ago, everybody loved NEO. NEO was the jam. I remember buying NEO at $6. I sold it at 38, and I thought it was awesome. I love NEO. Everybody loved NEO. It was NEO, the Ethereum of China, and then the whole September stuff went down with NEO in China, where it just dropped off, dropped off a cliff after China banned ICOs and then banned a lot of the other things there. So that's something to kind of consider. So, but I think long-term NEO still is attractive. If you own NEO, depending upon where you got in, but I don't own NEO right now, but it is an attractive, to me, it's attractive. Probably in the long term, I think there are some valid criticisms of NEO for sure, but there are valid criticisms of basically everybody. So there's a couple different things too, and I'll just get to this real quick, but a lot of people get really pissed off about FUD in crypto. There are pretty much valid criticisms to every crypto asset out there. You could easily criticize Bitcoin for very high fees, slow transaction times. You could criticize Ethereum because it's not scaling properly. You could criticize Cardano because it doesn't have a super mainstream functional product yet. You could consider Ripple because it's somewhat decentralized. You could consider NEO because it doesn't have a ton of nodes, blah, blah, blah. You could basically criticize everything out there. So if you are investing in it or if you have money in it, just listen to the criticism, take it in, see if it's legit. Even if it is legit, sometimes it doesn't mean anything, honestly, because, again, these markets aren't rational. But there are valid criticisms for every asset out there for sure. And just don't get too bothered by them. Somebody said, basic attention token, please, please. So I registered for the Brave browser. I'm a registered, verified publisher on the Brave browser. So if you use Brave and basic attention token, throw some BAT my way as a thank you, maybe. But basic attention token is interesting. The one thing that is kind of strange, or maybe not as much strange, but there's not as much incentive, I guess, for, I'm going to be pretty honest, the YouTube ads. The YouTube ads pay out a lot better than basic attention token does, but there's probably just very few people that are using the Brave browser as of now. So maybe that'll change in the future, but I'm happy and I'm excited to be a verified publisher on Brave. And I think basic attention token is interesting, but it's also an aggressive crypto kind of thing in the long term. Somebody says, Bobby says, pump equal drink. Yeah, let's do it. Play that drinking game. I might have to. I'm running low. I might need another one. Jacob, what is up, dude? Any events coming up? Depending upon whether or not that storm happens in New York, maybe I might go to NYC tomorrow night for a meetup. But outside of that, I think the NAC3 is coming up in New York, so I'll have some more information on that for you guys soon. But that might be something, if you're in the New York City area, would love to have you guys come to. Wilbur Williams, you're a smart dude. I'm pretty stupid now. I'm extremely average. Blessings from the islands. I don't know what islands you're at, but it's like 10 degrees here and it sucks. So I'm jealous and I'd love to move to the islands. So cheers to you because you're smarter than me because you're living on the islands and I'm living in cold ass weather. Antonio, what is up, dude? Good question. How do you make the choice between keeping the gains on any crypto versus keeping the initial investment, taking out the gains, or another option? I think it's an individual case-by-case basis, and it comes down to whether or not it's a short-term or long-term trade for me and how confident I am in that specific asset to run for the long term or for a short term, and kind of what the overall just aspect of that trade is. For something like Cardano, when I got into that fairly early on, and I wanted that to be a longer-term trade. So that's something that was kind of like a long-term trade for me. But I wasn't predicting the fact that it would go up 2,500%. So I'm kind of at this point in time like, hey, should I just take out my initial investment plus a little bit to, kind of realize some nice profit there as well, or let it ride? And it's tough because every time I seem to take out profit, that crypto continues to pump, and that's happened to me multiple times in the past. So it's a tough question. I think that's something you just want to predetermine when you get into a trade, and where you want to be and how you want to run things. David Moyle, I appreciate the super chat, dude. I'm not sure if you asked a question. I didn't see it under the super chat, but if you have anything, let me know in the comments, and I can definitely get to that. Hi from cold ass Chicago. Yeah, I couldn't do Chicago. Somebody said I live in Buffalo. I'm laughing at blizzards. Yeah, dude, you live in Buffalo, bro. I don't want any of that stuff, man. No, thank you. Yeah, you know lake effect. I'm not about that lake effect life. That's why I don't live in Buffalo. Yeah, shout out to everybody that's about to get snowed on. Nothing worse than shoveling and getting snowed on and all that stuff. Although I just started picking up skiing, and both times I went skiing in the past couple weeks, Cardano went up with 50% each day. So I think that might be closely correlated between the buffalo chicken, the pizza. I'm trying to figure out, how my daily life is actively correlated to how crypto pumps. I'm pretty close. I think there is. I'm determining the relationship between buffalo chicken wraps and the market in general, and I think it's pretty bullish. It's pretty bullish in my opinion. Kyle, what is up, dude? Bills Mafia. I'm a Jets fan, but I got love for Bills Mafia. Good on you guys. Congrats on the playoffs. As long as you guys can somehow beat the Patriots at some point in time, prevent the Patriots from making the Super Bowl so I don't have to watch Tom Brady win another one, that would be fantastic. So everybody's saying Binance is down, wallets are down on Bittrex. Let me take a little look and see just in the one screen if I can pull that up and see. So, yep. Yeah, so Binance is, I can get into my account, but everything's suspended. And what do we got? Bittrex. Yeah. I got to log in, but I'm too lazy for that. Patrick Hamane, Jets suck. Yeah, we know, bro. I am a lifelong Jets fan. I know. You don't have to tell me twice. Terrible videographer, what is up, dude? Check out PRL. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you. Yeah, I'll pop in. I'll check that bad boy out. Oyster Pearl. I think somebody asked about this one fairly recently. TRX killed Binance, is doing crazy things. Let's pull up TRX, see what's up with this bad boy. It's crazy. So that's actually, I haven't played around with this too much, but it's somewhat interesting. And I think this is maybe similar to what some of these like websites are doing by basically installing pretty much like not a virus, but having companies or having individuals use their computing power to mine Monero or some of these other assets on their computer while they're on that website. So it's kind of interesting. And I don't know how much people love that or hate that, but to be honest, if it doesn't completely screw up your CPU and GPU, I think a lot of people would like that more than a bit more than having that when we were just on Fortune before, on Fortune.com, and I got just things all over, just YouTube ads freaking everywhere. I mean, or just regular Google ads all over the place. So kind of an interesting concept. I'll have to dive into it a little bit further. Acapulco Ron. What is up, dude? TRX killed. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, he's throwing some fat stacks. MX, is that? So I'm stupid too. I think I've asked about this bad boy is Mexican pesos. We got fat stacks of pesos coming from Acapulco Ron. So much appreciated, dude. Got to get that international money. So D Stills, what's up, my man? Thoughts on or Trex? Yeah, we got. I'll pull it up in the 15 minutes. Granted, Binance is down right now, so I'm not exactly sure kind of how this is looking at, but Tron is down a little bit in the past. It's down about 14-15% in the last 45 minutes. It's also up significantly on the day. So we got that going for us. 100K incoming, top marks, Bobby. I'd love to see 100K. I don't know if we will, but we'll have to see. What is Jets? Where are they from? The New York Jets are a terrible football team that ruins Crypto Bobby's life, typically from August to January or late December, because they don't make the playoffs, and they haven't made the playoffs in 6 years, so, usually late December. They also have a serious need for a quarterback that seems to just be completely non-existent, and it'll never come. Pablo, appreciate that super chat, dude. Hey, Bobby, look at Z Classic. Yeah, so I will pull up Z Classic in a second. I am going to very briefly, if you guys don't mind, if you will excuse me for literally 15 seconds. If you excuse me for 15 seconds, I'm going to refill this glass. It is empty. I could use a little bit more. If you want to refill your glass, if you want to get a water, an orange juice, I don't give a crap what you want to get. I will be right back. Give me a second. And we're back. Somebody said to let the spamming commence while he isn't looking. I'm here. I'm always looking. See, I refilled. Playoffs? Talking about playoffs? So taking a look at some of these questions. So I see somebody say that it was their first. Where we got here? Did you wash your hands? No, I got a drink, man. Why do I have to wash my hands to get a drink? Barrington, what is up, dude? First time here on Happy Hour. Love the podcast. Well, thank you for the kind words. Glad to have you on Crypto Happy Hour. And can you check out Kin? Yeah, Kin is having a nice move. Really died down after the ICO. Like, they got a ton of press during the ICO. And similar to a lot of these other ICOs that came out in like October, mid-October, really slowed down. Like, this one was, sentiment was terrible in November and December, and has since picked up heavy and pulled a kind of 6x, 7x since kind of November, December timeframe. So it's been crushing it. It's really only traded on Ether Delta and then on Bancor as well, but pretty much only on Ether Delta. Hackenberg is the future. I'm a Penn State football fan as well, so I wanted Hackenberg to be good, but he hasn't taken a snap yet, which isn't the best. If you're good by year 2, you probably get a snap or 2. So looking at some of these questions here real quick. Pull up the game. Somebody said thoughts on Vertcoin for a 1-2 year hold. I mean, to be pretty frank, it's really tough to look out in crypto for 1 or 2 years. Like, that's a long time to look out in crypto. Vertcoin, I'm not like the biggest like proponent of Vertcoin. I don't know. I don't see anything that it does that like is that incredible that anything else doesn't do. I mean, it has a decent sized community around it. It's supposed to be ASIC resistant, all that good stuff, but that's kind of what it has going for it, is that it's ASIC resistant and that they're going to have a one-click miner that's in development, and that they have access to SegWit and Lightning Network, but I mean, they're doing some nice things. Obviously, they've gotten some work done with the Lightning Network, and they have done some atomic cross-chain swaps, they believe, with Litecoin in the past, which is somewhat bullish for sure. But I still think that a lot of the things that they kind of have in place minus the ASIC resistance aren't that big of a differentiator from kind of some of the other assets out there, like a Litecoin or a Bitcoin or some of these other guys. Thoughts on PayPal PPP? They'll be doing invoice factoring like Populos. Populos is actually one of the best. If we go to, where's the ICO returns? Is it ICO rating? No, actually. ICO stats, let me see. Populos is one of the highest performers of, what we got? If you got in on the Populos ICO, it ICO'd at 27 cents. It's up to $46 right now. It returned 16,000%. That was one of the highest. I don't even think Populos sold out. I think it sold $9 million pre-sale, or $9 million in the ICO. So the fact that Populos ran up, I remember looking at Populos and being like, who the hell is going to buy this? And then it's gone up 16,000%. I'm an idiot, per usual. So not great, but PayPal, Accounting Web, I think that's fairly, it's an interesting use case. Whether or not people actually utilize it is another thing, but it is definitely, it's certainly interesting. ERP software is something that I am intimately familiar with. It's my day job is ERP software. So I work in this space and know a bit about accounting software and ERP software and kind of the risk assessment that some of these companies do and kind of how it is a pretty legacy business for some of these companies as far as how they actually go through this process. So PayPal could be interesting. I need to do a little bit more research on it, though. Somebody said if the Jets were a cryptocurrency, who would they be? Chaincoin? Spike up for like 1 second and they just flame out and die. Somebody said look at BRD. What are we looking at with BRD? Choo-choo BRD. Let's get it, baby. Woo. The only problem is not buying more. Is Jets an American thing? Yes. It's American football. Sorry if it's not culturally... I'm tongue-tied, so I can't pronounce anything. Sorry that it's not relevant to folks that don't live in the United States. But yes, the Jets are terrible. Jets equal Verge. No, they never even spiked as hard as Verge did. Maybe with Rex Ryan. Is Joe Flacco elite? No. Yes. No. Yes. So looking at some more of these, questions here, trying to get through them. Let's see. Okay, we're good. No, America does not claim the Jets. One new crypto to add to the portfolio in the next 15 days. So I actually opened up, I need to update the portfolio, but I opened up a little bit of a position in both AirSwap and Wabi today. So AirSwap, AST, and Wabi are the two that I hopped into today. Opened up a smallish position in both AirSwap and Wabi. I've just kind of liked that the way that they've developed over time. And AirSwap, it's under $100 million in market cap. It's under $1. It is a decentralized exchange. It is a different approach to the way decentralized exchanges work in comparison to something like a 0x. It's more of a peer-to-peer type of an exchange in a lot of respects, but it's backed by consensus, or it's the consensus team. So it's a legit company. The founders are really solid, and it just hasn't pumped that hard. AirSwap hasn't. I participated in the ICO, and then I held on a little bit and sold off most of it, but I just bought back in a decent amount now that it's kind of, I think, on a fairly clear uptrend. So AirSwap is one of them. The other one is Wabi that I just hopped into as well, which is kind of anti-counterfeiting, specifically a lot of like baby formula stuff. But I feel like they're also, I was looking for crypto that was kind of in the sub $150 million market cap that was on the cheaper end per se, that hasn't really pumped. There's been a lot of crypto out there that haven't pumped, or that have really pumped hard. I was trying to kind of find a different place to diversify per se. So somebody says Wabi on Bittrex, now it's on Binance. Binance and Ether Delta. Mike, what is up, dude? Quick shout out again to, if you guys are in the Facebook group by any chance, Mike is the man, is the most helpful dude, probably the most helpful person out of everything with, basically out of everybody with this channel. Mike is a hero, so please say thank you to Mike, because he's a hero, especially if you're in the Facebook group. A lot of people are joking around that said, this isn't the Crypto Bobby Facebook group. This is Crypto Mike's Facebook group. So thank you very much, Mike. And yeah, AirSwap has come up nicely since the ICO, and Engine Coin has, I think, 6x, maybe like 5 or 6, is a 5 or 6x since the ICO as well. So happy that that has gone that way for sure. Is Danny Woodhead the grittiest player of all time? Absolutely. Danny Woodhead is grit personified, defined. If I got any other stoolies out there, any Pardon My Take fans? Little PFT commenter action. Yeah, oh, upgrade. So Pontus, what is up, man? Thoughts on BAT? I talked a little bit about BAT previously. I like Basic Attention Token. I think it is an ambitious project, but the Brave browser is actually pretty legit, and it's made a real nice move as of late. Really, really nice move. From an investment perspective, I have a tiny bit of Basic Attention Token, but nothing like enough to actually list in the portfolio. So Basic Attention Token is an interesting one. They have a team that is clearly executing on their vision, and they have a strong founding team in place that I really like for sure. So, Manhattan Project, never said thanks. You're the reason I can invest so heavy now. I'm not the reason for anything, man. You definitely are. So, anything you guys do, that's all you guys making solid decisions. Yeah, Viva. What's up, Nolan? So looking at some more of these super chats. Robert, can you show us how to use limit and stop limit orders for buys, sells on Binance? So I actually have a tutorial on that. Let me see if I can pull this up on the other screen real quick. So if you search Crypto Bobby Binance in YouTube, I'll get the link to it as well. But if you search Crypto Bobby Binance, whoever just, let me go back to ask that question. I'm going to throw it in the chat now if you'd like to check that out. There's the link that you can get that at, Robert. So that's probably going to be more helpful if you want to take a look at that video, or if you just search Crypto Bobby Binance in the YouTube search, you'll find that there. And it's literally just a Binance tutorial, so you can you can use that. Somebody just said, Mark, use super chat, not caps, you cheap bastards. Yeah. Much love, Mark. Appreciate that, brother. I'm sure everybody else reading appreciates it as well. Robert Harrison, you missed my super chat. I think I just got to it. Sorry, man. So love the education, the advice, and the great community. First-time investment skyrocketed. Cardano all the way. Cardano has obviously crushed it. The one thing I would say is people have a tendency, I myself included, have a tendency to fall in love with the crypto once it makes you a ton of money. Don't fall in love. That's one thing I will say. Don't marry Cardano. Don't marry it for the rest of your life. Don't marry Charles Hoskinson as much as you might want to right now and all that good stuff. So if, profit is never a bad thing. Pretty much profit is never a bad thing. And if you want to take a little bit of money, take out your initial investment, do whatever you want to do, that's not the worst thing you could ever do. So don't just get too emotionally attached, because it's happened to me where something goes up a crazy amount and crushes it and then maybe pulls back a little bit. And Charles and I are already engaged. Yeah, for sure, man. It's funny. You guys are too funny. Justin, thank you for all the insight. Happy to use your affiliate links as I progress in the crypto space. Yeah, if you guys ever want to support outside of these super chats and all that good stuff, obviously I appreciate. You don't have to pay me a dime or anything like that. I just like hanging out with you guys. That's literally no BS. I like hanging out with you guys, but and girls. But if you're trying to buy any crypto, or if you're trying to sign up for Binance or any of that good stuff, and you want to check out the description below, those are just links to whether it's portfolio trackers, all that good stuff. That some of those are my affiliate links. So if that helps me out a little bit, but if you need anything else, obviously here for you guys as well. Did I say pump? There, pump again. Let's see here. Binance. There we go. Yes, Binance. The system is upgrading, aka we're getting flooded with traffic right now and getting crushed. So looking at some of these comments, thoughts, and questions here as well. kind of microphone is that? It's a Blue Yeti. It's USB mic, pretty cheap. It's like 100, 120 bucks. Can you look at CyberMiles ad? Yeah, for sure, dude. Country music TV or television or yeah. The number of crypto out there that have just pumped is absolutely incredible. Really is. It's been pretty hard to lose money. Pretty tough to lose money in this space. I don't know too much about these guys off the top. Like that they're on a number of exchanges, Binance, Huobi. That's legit. I also interesting that they put a lockup on their investors or their private investors. That's good. That is a solid thing. Might dump when that lockup happens. Who knows? We'll have to see. But that's good to see them put some accountability in place. But I need to do a little bit more research on these guys, see how legit they might be. I don't know what the news coverage is on CyberMiles with BuzzFeed, Forbes, TechCrunch, but those are all obviously pretty big places to have any level of news coverage. So that is interesting, and I'll put that to the top of the list in terms of just crypto to get a good solid feel for. So the jet lag junkie, POE and QSP. So QSP is one that I don't have a position in, QuantStamp, but I am very interested in. It's had a very solid movement following the ICO. Extremely good run after the ICO. Pretty much has tripled since sold off in mid-December, but is well above where it ICO'd, 300 plus mil. Could have had a chance to speak to the CEO back in the day, and I need to do a better job of filtering emails to find the people that I should be speaking to, because the CEO of QuantStamp should have been one of those people. So I missed out an opportunity to speak to the founder and also did not invest in the ICO, and that would have been a fantastic one to invest in the ICO. So looking at some of these questions here too, just trying to make sure that BuzzFeed equals news. Yeah, that was loosely defined. Terrible videographer. What is up, dude? Pumping Bobby Coin. That's good, man. It's actually, so it's Pigeon. It's not Bobby Coin, but I appreciate terrible videographer. I very much appreciate that. Cheers to you for pumping Crypto Bobby. It's very much appreciated. And I'm very much a jackass for speaking in the third person right now. Richard said missing skiing to study altcoins. I want to ski. I am definitely very. I'm picking up my two favorite things right now might be skiing and researching crypto. Those are literally my two things. I suck at both, but I enjoy both thoroughly. Thoroughly enjoy both. I just bought. So I haven't really cashed out any crypto. The one thing I did buy with a little bit of crypto profits was I just bought. I bought new skis, boots, or I never had skis or boots. I was renting them before, but I bought skis, boots, poles, and bindings, and all that good stuff, brand new with some crypto profit. And the dude who's checking me out, I don't know if he's watching right now, but the dude who checked out me at the store, at Ski Barn, I think his name was Nick. Nick, what's up? Gave me a nice little discount when I was checking out because he watched the videos. So I've met like 3 people in real life that have actually watched my videos. So on the slim chance that you ever see a 5'9", dumb-looking white dude in person, it might be me. Say hi. I'll take a discount skiing. LTC plus Amazon rumor. Tell me more. How about no? No. That's just stupid. It's not true. That's not true. Litecoin and Amazon are not announcing a partnership. No. I like Litecoin. I use Litecoin. Yeah, no. Somebody said, I thought you were 6'3". Yeah. You got to short man syndrome, man. It's Napoleon complex, bro. Oh, so taking a look at some of these super chats here again, because I think I missed a couple of them. Base Logician, thank you for all the info. You're welcome. I appreciate the super chat and obviously the kind words. Do you have any thoughts in PIVX? Also, have you heard anything bad about MetaMask? It concerns me with no two-factor authentication. I don't use MetaMask too much. I've used it before. I don't have like massive concerns about it, but I don't love the non two-factor authentication. I guess in some respects, either depending. But PIVX, another old privacy coin. It's an older privacy coin, so I mean it's been around since April of 2016. So it's been around the block, but pretty much everything out on the planet that is privacy. This is, again, when you're talking about crypto buzzwords, instant transactions, verified transactions, private transactions, proof of stake, like all that stuff is just thrown into one. And I feel like all these things can tend to just, whether or not they execute on that, beef up the price. I don't have any money in PIVX, but it's fairly interesting, it's somewhat interesting. I think privacy coins are good. Same height as Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, but I don't play basketball against 7-foot tall dudes, bro. I work in software sales. I don't need to be 10 feet tall. So looking at some of these questions here, I'm mentally exhausted, been a good day, night all. Yeah, I am as well, coming up on 2 hours here, but we're keeping it rolling. And as per usual, if you guys are new to Crypto Happy Hour or new to the channel in general, I do daily videos on crypto, and then I do these YouTube Live Crypto Happy Hours where I try and answer as many questions as possible rapid fire. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, the notify bell. That'd be fantastic. Always appreciate all you guys that do subscribe and are have the notify bell and all that good stuff, because it's very much appreciated. The King's coming with the authoritative comment of inside employee reporting on the table at Amazon. Yeah, just like James Altucher said that Amazon was announcing a Bitcoin integration like 3 months ago. Where's that? I can't hear. Oh, it didn't happen. Okay, guys, hopefully you can hear me all right. Sorry about that. I don't know. My internet just went down, so... We're back. Relax, folks. We're all right. It's storming on the East Coast. I didn't die, so we're okay. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. Welcome back. Yeah. You talk crap about Altucher for 1 second, and then he just comes out and he rips your heart out, and then he retargets you on every single website on the planet. So, damn you, Altucher. Yeah. Of course, I lost 150, you guys. You guys were ready to get the hell out of here, weren't you? 896 watching. Whoa. There goes half the party. Hey, guys, I'm still here. I'm still here. Cool. So I'm going to get back to these super chats, even though you guys probably left anyway. So back to that Danny D. What is up, dude? Appreciate the super chat. Thank you for the €5. Very kind of you. Very much appreciated. Rex Harris, what is up, man? Love the happy hours and the cast. Thank you for that. Sure, you spoke about VeChain's movement, but do you think it's still a good long-term hold? I am still holding on to VeChain for the time being. I like VeChain. Still holding on for the time being. I'm somewhat considering taking profit. I need to kind of reevaluate where that might be, but I haven't sold any. I haven't sold a dollar of my VeChain at this point in time. So that is that's kind of where I'm at right now. But somebody said the white Cuddy. Can I DM on Twitter about my university crypto research? Shoot me an email. It's rob@cryptobobby if you need me. rob@cryptobobby.com. Shoot me an email there. It's probably easier than Twitter DM. Chat numbers are like altcoin prices. Yep. So somebody said in all caps, Clark Kent, Krypton, Ripple and Stellar in all caps. Ripple and Stellar are both frauds. The coins aren't necessary for their business. I've seen some analysis that has supported both of those comments, both about Ripple and about Stellar. One thing I would say, though, is that the markets aren't necessarily rational. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The markets aren't necessarily rational. And I haven't bought into Ripple. I didn't buy into Ripple at 25 cents. I didn't buy into Ripple at 75 cents because I didn't think it was worth it, and I didn't think the XRP token was that worth it, and I've lost out on a ton of profit. So sometimes you need to remove your biases, and it depends on what you want to do. If you have, significant opposition against something like that, then that's fine. But sometimes you want to remove your cognitive bias from the things that you're looking at, because if you don't, you're going to miss out. And I've had trouble doing that, and I've started to try to make a more conscious effort to see what I'm potentially biased on, what I don't like, why I don't like it, and if that's something that could potentially make me money or be something that could. So real quick, Hunter Lewis said Litecoin was at $50 to $70 for 3 months. Now it's at $250. How is it dead? Some people are hyperactive. Yeah, Litecoin's not dead. Like, let's be honest. Litecoin, I mean, what do we got here? We'll pull up the Litecoin chart. Like, if you're calling Litecoin dead, you're a bag holder that bought Litecoin at $400. And, I mean, that's the only way you're calling Litecoin dead, because pull up the one-day charts. Like, Litecoin isn't dead. I mean, Litecoin was sitting at... If you bought Litecoin in November, you are sitting at a 350% profit. If you bought Litecoin at, let's just say we'll do the past month, just for fun's sake. Still in the past month, Litecoin is up 140%. Like, let's not call that dead. Has it obviously sold off since mid-December? Absolutely, but it's not a dead cryptocurrency. Yeah, buy the top, sell the bottom, baby. That buy high, sell low. That is the key to trading. The key to trading, folks. Some of these comments are just outrageous. Jesus. Robert Long, what is up, dude? Why is ETH so strong? And also, just because I love your stuff, thank you. Well, Robert, thank you for that. I appreciate the kind words there. Why is ETH so strong? So, I mean, there's obviously, I think there's different reasoning you could point to. I think one thing that you would say, though, is that Ethereum is it's one of the most used crypto assets out there. There's obviously issues with scalability. You can see CryptoKitties, you can see a lot of the other things out there, but whether you're talking about the number of companies that are building on top of the Ethereum platform, whether you're talking about the number of tokens that are built on it, the number of ERC20 tokens, all that good stuff, Ethereum is probably the most used platform crypto asset out there in general. So when you're talking about the usability of it, it's not perfect by any stretch, but it is fulfilling. It's in a lot of respects, it's fulfilling its use case, I think, or starting to fulfill its use case. So I'm excited about Ethereum long term. Obviously, it's a rich valuation. Like let's not go crazy and say it's not, but it is. I don't think it's necessarily like out of all the cryptos out there, I don't think it's completely unjustified. I personally think Ethereum is on surface level more valuable than Ripple is. But that's just me. And I've been wrong because I've thought Ethereum was more valuable than Ripple was, and Ripple pumped up to the high heavens, and that hasn't happened as much for Ethereum. But so Crisco, what is up, dude? Always good to see you, my man. Laying low for the next dump. Good idea, FOMO. It's tough to call the tops. I think the markets are absolutely getting very, very frothy. Like very, very. I mean, we're talking about a $700 billion plus market capitalization right now, over $1 trillion from a year 2050 market cap, and then the Bitcoin dominance is down, so the altcoins are pumping real hard. So the markets are just super. They've exploded. Whether it's been Ethereum, whether it's been Ripple, whether it's been Cardano, Stellar Lumens. I mean, they've all gone absolutely nuts. It's been a crazy couple days. It's been nuts. So I don't necessarily. I think there has to be a dip at some point. There has to be. But calling when that dip is going to happen is tough because you can easily sell right now and you can see things pump up another 100%, and you could be sitting out while everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I'm making money." So that sucks. But I think there is going to be a dip at some point in time, and just a correction is. I feel like a correction is fairly likely, and if it does, you just have to have a plan in place. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what rolls on there, but laying low. I mean, depending upon the profits you made, it's not a terrible idea. Would I FOMO in now? I wouldn't FOMO in now. So somebody just real quick in the low price edition, aren't most valuations wrong? Says, aren't most valuations wrong? Isn't the market being driven by a plethora of new and uneducated investors playing the game? I don't think there's a right way to value a crypto asset right now. There isn't. Nobody knows what the heck they're doing. There are really smart, educated hedge fund, Wall Street, educated, Harvard, all that good stuff. Way smarter than I am. Hey guys, hopefully I am back. Sorry for any interruption there. Apparently my internet is, the 100 megs I pay for on internet are not good enough to actually keep the stream running. So thank you, Verizon. Shout out to you guys. And the Enterprise Ubiquity network that I installed in my house. So sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you are patient because I would never leave you hanging out like that. So hopefully you didn't catch my nice curse words that I was just saying before. But yeah, we should be all good to go now. Sorry about that again. My sincere apologies on that. Let me just refresh the page. Get the updated chat here. Okay, there we go. Not running anything on my computer, man. This is... You guys yell Verizon for me. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're back. We're back. I only lost 1,000 people. We all right. You guys have no patience. You really think I'd leave you like that? Oh, there we go. We got 1,000 people back. Hey-o. We're all back. Thank you, guys. All right, so I'm going to get back into these super chats because I was missing out. I missed a couple of these. So your cut of my ADA take, thank you very much, Trashy Ratchet. Thank you very much for that, dude. Very much appreciated. Justin, any ICOs you're excited about January, February? So Gems is one that I've had a few friends mention. Gems. Haven't had a chance to do the full due diligence cut on Gems, but trying to actually they sent me an email a little bit of time ago and trying to see if I can set up an interview with the founder of Gems. So working on that for the time being. We'll see what is going on. And hopefully set that conversation up, see if Gems is legit. Another question there, what do you think about Wabi? I just invested a little bit of money in Wabi today. Need to update the portfolio on the website, but put a little bit of money into Wabi today. So I think that it had a pretty interesting use case. There's already an existing company, and it's sub 125 mil in market cap, and it's pretty cheap on a per coin basis, which is or isn't meaningful at all. So I threw a little bit of money into Wabi. We'll see what ends up happening with it, but I figured I wanted to find a couple different cryptos that were sub 150 mil in market cap that I thought would potentially have the opportunity to go to maybe 200-300 mil. So another super chat, D-Stills, what is up, dude? Sure you mentioned it before, came in late, but what are your thoughts on Ripple's future? Ripple is interesting. People love Ripple or hate Ripple, and you love Ripple if you got rich from Ripple, and you hate Ripple if you are a crypto Bitcoin purist who is all about decentralization and hates banks. It's pretty much one or the other. You either love Ripple because you got rich as hell from Ripple, or you hate Ripple because you're a Bitcoin maximalist, or you're just a crypto maximalist and you hate banks. One or the other, pretty much. Long-term future, I hate it because they sold at 94. Yeah, it's the worst, man. It is the worst. Selling early, it sucks. But I was not a massive fan of Ripple, and I thought Ripple was overvalued it personally, and I was wrong, and I'll say it again, I was wrong. I thought Ripple was overvalued when it was at $10 billion. I was like, when Ripple was at 25 cents at $10 billion in market cap, I was like, you know what, Ripple is way overvalued. There's no way this thing is worth $10 billion. It's not going to be adopted by the banks. You know, this isn't going to happen. That's going to happen. The banks can just buy a little bit of Ripple. They don't really need to use Ripple's software, or they don't need XRP to use Ripple's software. And it didn't matter. It went from 25 cents all the way up to $3 basically, and I missed out on a lot of that. So I overestimated how rational the markets might be, and I also overestimated how much people in crypto give a crap about banks, personally. I thought most people in crypto would be like, Ripple has relationships with banks, and we hate banks, and we don't want to be involved with this. Doesn't matter. Most people, especially either people that just give a crap about money, and then also people that... Not sure, Crisco, what's mentioned in fire sale. What's fire selling right now? Wabi sounds like a sushi restaurant. Sell your Ripple. I don't know if we could call a maybe 5% drop a fire sale, but somebody said, "Will Tangled supplant blockchain?" It's Tangle. Until Tangle can prove itself, then I don't know. Until Tangle can actually prove itself. But everything that's trying to replace blockchain is all theoretical for the most part and not actually practicing. So blockchain works. The Tangle and all these other things may or may not work as well or anywhere near as well. What's up, Joe Namath? So somebody said Ripple's going to die hard soon. I don't know if that's true. I mean, it might. Certainly might. It's pumped incredibly hard. Like, you look at this pump. You have to think to yourself, oh, yeah, it's got to pull back. It's got to pull back. It's basically gone from Ripple is gone mid-December. If you bought this for Christmas, it's gone up 1,000. If you bought this before Christmas, a little Christmas present for yourself, it's gone up a, cool 1,000% in 22 days. Just, 1,000% 22 days. But trying to call the top is always difficult. Like I've said, it's always tough. A lot of people, like a couple of different people are saying, and this is on the US dollar charts, but a lot of people are saying, they bought in 20, 25 cents, took profits at 90-something cents after this little bit of a pullback, I'm sure. Thinking, hey, this is going to dip. And then it shoots up another 3-4x. So it's a tough way to go about things. Somebody said, is it too late to invest in XRP? And then I think Tron is going to pump. I don't want to say it's too late to invest in XRP, but you're late investing in XRP. Like, if you want to argue that, you can't really. Like, you're late to invest in XRP. If you want to you can put money in now, but you're putting in after the crypto is up 1,000% in 22 days. Me personally, I don't have the stones to do that. That's not in my nature. And then on the other end of the spectrum, on Tron, you're also, again, investing after something's pulled a multiple X. So somebody said better late than never. I highly disagree with that personally. But yeah, some people might say you are better late than never to invest in Verge. And let's take a little bit of a look at Verge. Better late than never, invest in Verge up here. Whoop, boom. So I'm not saying that Ripple is going to do this, but it might. Definitely could. Somebody said better to take profits when you can. It's never bad to take profits. Definitely is not bad to take profits wherever you are. I think that's a lot of people like to kind of point to, hey, hodl. I don't think taking profits is ever a bad thing. Somebody said Verge is due for a pop. I mean, Verge is still up 1,800% since in the past 23 days. At one point, it was up 4,000%, but it's still up 1,800%. Personally, I'm not a massive Verge guy, but who knows? I could always be wrong. Time for a refill? No, it's time for, at this point in time, it's probably pretty soon it's going to be time for one last game of Call of Duty and then bed. And guys, if you are new to the channel, again, by any chance, I'll look at OMG real quick here. I have a small OMG bag I got in back in the day. Certainly made a comeback, kind of bottomed out in that mid-December timeframe like a lot of other crypto did against Bitcoin. The big run for OMG was back mid-September. That was when OMG was the hotness in the streets. And then OMG fell off a cliff. Now it's picking up nicely again, so we'll do that. But yeah. So okay, let's see here. Fill up the cup with 80 plus proof and chug it. Robert Beatles, $20 more if you do. I don't have much more, but if you really want me to, I guess I could. I mean, I wasn't going to drink anymore, but if you want to throw me another 20 bucks, I'll buy another. I could buy another bottle, so. But I also don't want to just be drinking on YouTube live for money. That's also a bad move. I don't know if I like the precedent that sets. It's a bad move. Unless you want tomorrow to suck. Bold move, Cotton. What's next? Strip for 50 bucks. I'm not stripping. I'm not doing that. You definitely don't want to see. I eat way too many buffalo chicken wraps to do any of that. Am I getting like digitally iced right now? Somebody gonna send me a Smirnoff Ice through this? Oh, man. As much as I want to just drink it because I could, I also don't want to have every single super chat from now on somebody saying, "Hey, here's 10 bucks, take another shot." I feel like that's just gonna be bad news. It's bad news. Hangover coin to the moon. Yeah, it's drink for a sub and a like. What am I, Logan Paul? Chugging would be good for the brand. Kyle, I'm not a punter. This isn't Pat McAfee. He's way more of a man than I am. All right, so I'm gonna pretend I'm not gonna boost because well, I already boosted, but I'm not gonna boost because number one, I know a lot of you guys would like it. Most of you guys would like it, but there's gonna be like 10-15% of people that are gonna be like, Bobby's a drunk, and we don't want to ever see him. We don't want to ever see him on YouTube again. And solely because of the 10-15% of people, I'm probably going to really piss off if I take the last bit of my Macallan and chug it, which I could certainly do. I was in a frat, bro. But solely because of that, I'm not going to do that. So I don't want to, I'll chug a nice glass of water. Hooters live stream chugathon. It's a bad precedent. Yeah, well, we'll let it go. We'll let it go. Somebody said 10% already think you're drunk. The other 90% are wrong. 10% don't know how much I could drink, which is a good or bad thing. Let's take a look. Wow, Tron. Holy crap. So Tron is, woo. Maybe we'll look at Liquid because This is pulled back quite a bit. That's still nuts. Tron is nuts right now. Holy. That's crazy. Binance is entirely down. Yes, we know. It is down. It is definitely down. And quick shout out again, Robert. Thank you very much for that super chat. I'd love to fill it up with 80 proof. Hit me up on a Google Hangout or something like that, and we'll have a glass of whiskey together. But for precedent's sake, I don't want to chug any booze for money. I'm sorry about that though. Poor planning on Binance. I don't think this is routine maintenance, guys. That's, you know, maybe I'm being a Debbie Downer, but I don't think whatever's going on with Binance right now is routine maintenance at all. This is not. This is simply them being overloaded. Hopefully they're not hacked or anything like that. I kind of doubt that. I know a couple people have been like, Binance is hacked. Binance is hacked. I'm hoping I'm not pulling a Roger Ver right now and saying the Mt. Gox books are very good and they are perfect. And the old Roger Ver video of him saying Mt. Gox is completely solvent, and then, you know, a day later, or not a day later, but a couple months later, they just go. So, but this isn't. I wouldn't say it's routine maintenance. I think they're probably just overwhelmed with a bunch of other stuff. So, if it's hacked, I'm screwed big time. Yeah, aren't we all? Aren't we all, brother? Somebody said Andreas called Mt. Gox. Like, I think everybody that had half a brain called Mt. Gox back in the day, because Mark Karpelès was not a CEO of an exchange. He was not. Everybody hates Coinbase in the world, or a lot of people hate Coinbase, but like, at least Coinbase, like, for the most part, like, yeah, they might screw up some things here and there. They might mess up some stuff, but for the most part, like, they keep your money. If you got money in Coinbase, yeah, it might be impossible to buy stuff in Coinbase because of all the new things going on, but who knows? They're no Mt. Gox, I would say. So somebody said Binance announced this hours ago. Yeah, so if they announced this hours ago, then my bad. If they said they were going to be down, yeah, my bad. Probably not the best time, I guess. Maybe also inconsiderate on my end, because the East Coast in the U.S. isn't the only time zone on the planet. So if they said they're going to be down, then that's fine. I guess, you know, you got to do maintenance at some point in time. So if they announce this, then good on them. Sorry about that. If I misstated anything, I wasn't completely up on that news. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But yeah, you could. I mean, there's never a good time for an exchange to be down. It is what it is, I guess. Hunter Lewis, what's up, dude? Is John McAfee a crackpot, or does he know something? I'm sure he's intelligent, but he's also nuts. And I've also seen the different things where he literally says he will basically pump or recommend your crypto or your ICO for like 25 Bitcoin. So that's a lot of money. I mean, I'm sure it's worth it too, because for some of these ICOs or some of these like kind of non-legit cryptos, you pay somebody 25 Bitcoin, you pay somebody 250, 300 grand, but you raise 300 million or 30 million in an ICO, and then it pumps through the roof. That's worth it on your end. That's a good marketing spend. Like, that is. But long term, I personally don't trust McAfee for anything at all. Well, shit, will stuff pump with McAfee? Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. The 25 Bitcoin was a fake screenshot. Then yeah, maybe it was, but I still think he pays. I still think people are paying him behind the scenes. I absolutely think that. Somebody said Binance is up. We'll take a little looky-loo. Most geniuses are nuts. Hey, Binance is back. So routine maintenance is over. Even if he's not getting paid for, even if he's not getting paid for it, the fact that he knows that the crypto that he mentions is going to pump, and if you want to say he's not buying that, I mean, either he has the best ethics in the world or he's just kind of pumping his stuff. So I don't know, When he tweets something, it's going to go up 100%. He could literally buy it on an exchange, set a sell order, tweet it, and boom, he's making 100% profit day in, day out, day in, day out. So what is going on, dude? Thoughts on ICX mainnet in like 20 days? First annual summit in like 25. Maybe it'll run up prior to. It's already made a pretty significant move in advance of that. So I don't know how long ago the mainnet was announced. I don't know how long ago the annual summit was announced, but it's obviously trading heavy in advance of that. It was at $1 back in early December. Now it's at $7, so it's 7x since then. So could potentially be a buy the rumor, sell the news type situation. But I need to do a little bit more research on Icon as far as what the mainnet might do and how that goes. Somebody said, watch out for slander. Yeah, no, I'm not. So I don't know. I mean, that's all speculation. McAfee could be the most legit dude in the world. He could be not the most legit dude. I don't really know. But, I mean, a lot of the stuff there, it's fairly, I mean, I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I don't like the fact that he can tweet something and that it can go up 100% and then dump off a second later. The markets are so illiquid. The markets are so small that there's a lot of manipulation. In some cases, he's just kind of a microcosm of that, and that's just my opinion. It's all opinion. None of this is fact. So I'm not saying anything necessarily. I'm just giving my overall opinion on that. But I mean, I'm sure there's people in some regulatory agencies that have different opinions on that as well. Though that I don't think he's based in the U.S. anymore, so it doesn't really matter at this point in time either. But so, guys, at this point in time, been going for like 2.5 hours. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a break here. I will be back tomorrow with another recorded video as well as hopefully another YouTube live crypto happy hour. I appreciate everybody for sticking with me, even though my internet fell out twice over the course of crypto happy hour. So I appreciate that. If you are new to the channel by any chance, hit the subscribe button, the notify bell for that as well. But thank you guys so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Awkward silence time coming up for those of you guys that block ads. For those of you guys that don't, you'll probably get some crappy ad there as well. But I do appreciate the time. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a good one. Peace.